Everybody, what's going on? This is your boy Trey Lover here with another episode of Voices of Sickle Cell brought to you by Love and Fashion and GEL Council. Today, I have a fantastic guest that I cannot wait for you guys to hear about. The thing that she has accomplished, the things that she does, the thing that she is about resonates so much in my heart, and her story is one that you guys need to comprehend. No matter all the adversity that she's went through, she made sure that she's accomplished so many great things in life, and she makes sure she gets back. So without further ado, I want to give it up for Miss Calvanay Nunley. How you doing today?
Hey, how are you? I'm good. I'm good. Today is it's good.
There we go. So this is a fellow warrior right here who I got a chance to. I think we got in connection only like a few days ago, maybe like yesterday or the day before. We just got in connection, and I was going through your page, and when I say there's people who advocate, and then there's people
Yeah.
who advocate. And we already know which one you are from how we can go with this. You are about your business. You make things happen. You've
Yes.
accomplished so much, and I want you to take the platform right now to get it started, okay? Tell us about you. What makes you you? What your accomplishments? What's your vision? Tell us about you. I want the people to know that you are more than just sickle cell. You're an amazing individual.
Yes. Okay. I want to say it started when I was young. I kind of tried to do so many jobs. I worked so many jobs, and I'm like, nah, this ain't for me. Nah, this don't work for me. But then when I started taking care of people, I started caregiving. I said, okay, maybe this is my era a little bit. And then it went a little further to where to it hit home, till I started seeing people with my disease that felt like they couldn't work, they couldn't go to school, they couldn't travel, they couldn't. And I was like, no, 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 I'm gonna be that inspiration. I'm gonna show y'all how it's done. I'm gonna show you you can travel. I'm gonna show you you can work. I'm gonna teach you how to be an independent. I'm gonna teach you how to live a successful life and balance the disease,
Mm,
balance sickle cell anemia. So my first endeavor that I ever got involved with was just speaking out. And that was real crazy because I didn't really start speaking out about my sickle cell until I was out of high school, and I had a stroke. I had a stroke, and so I was about 20 years old, and I was kind of like living fast a little bit, and it was almost like it slowed me down. So I had a stroke on my right side that took away my speech. It took away my functioning to my full right side. I had to learn to walk again, talk again,
mm,
feed myself again, just everything. It was one of the worst things that ever happened to me with sickle cell disease, because I feel like, my spirit was really crushed during that time. But it was amazing because I overcame it and I pushed through it. And I was like, from here on out, I gotta teach everybody how to get up how I got up. And I fully understood my assignment. I fully understood why God had to take me through what I went through, because I had to pick up everybody else behind me. So I got started with camp. I started speaking at engagements, telling my story. And then I was a person that went to sickle cell camp. I went to sickle cell camps when I was 7 years old. Then they just stopped sickle cell camp, and I'm like, why? I hit up the hospital like, how come sickle cell camp is stopped? We gotta teach these kids. We gotta teach them how to be leaders. We gotta teach them how to be successful. We gotta teach them how to be articulate, how to operate in the world, regardless of having sickle cell, because sickle cell don't have us. We have sickle cell.
that's
So
a
I became a camp counselor. The first year I was that camp counselor, the next year they made me the director. I became the director over sickle cell camp. I've been doing that for about 6 years now. And I love it. I do it for the kids. I love the kids. I really want to push and motivate them. I love it. Like it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of planning. You have to like start literally at the beginning of last year, planning for this year. So it's a lot of hard work. But it's so rewarding, because just to see us, people living with sickle cell disease, outside of being sick, outside of the norm, doing things like rock climbing, zip lining, swimming, pushing them to be more than what they could be. You know what I
I,
mean? Just
I
pushing them out
I
of their
never got to
box.
go to camp. That sounds like so much fun.
I'm telling you, it was fun because that's where I found my voice at camp. And that's why I was bold. So after camp, it was like, okay, what's next for me? It's I gotta get more involved. So I started going to like workshops with Cayenne Wellness. I started talking to people more. And then boom, here it goes. The pandemic hits.
Mm.
I was becoming a mentor for Cayenne Wellness program, their emerging adult program. And in the middle of us building that program, the pandemic hit. And so that kind of put a stop to things. And because I'm a social person and I like to talk to people and I like to, go literally go to your bedside if you're in a hospital. If you're my friend, I'm coming to visit you. I'm coming to uplift you. I'm coming to paint your toenails. I'm coming to wash your hair if you need me to wash it because you got to feel good. You got to feel better. And we got to get you up out this hospital, period.
Making sure I'm good right now.
Yes, yes. And that's what I do. Like, I just like to uplift people. And so I had hit rock bottom when the pandemic hit because I could not socialize. I could not get out. I could not. Okay, phone calls are cool, but I really like to be
Thing.
an in-person person. Like I am literally, I like to talk on the phone. I don't even like to text message. Like that's not who I am. So then I was really depressed. I found myself in a depression during the pandemic. But again, you know me, I'm gonna persevere through it. I'm gonna push through it because if I'm at rock bottom, I can't do nothing but go up. So what I did was I was like, you know what? I can't be the only person feeling like this. So I decided I was gonna make the pull up. It started from me being depressed to me telling other friends about it and saying, okay, let's hop on Zoom and talk some. Let's talk about what we going through during this pandemic. And it got bigger and bigger. I started meeting people I didn't know, people from all around the world that was tapping in with sickle cell anemia on Zoom. So I started calling it the pull up. Just come and tap in and pull up. From there, the pull up got bigger. And then I don't, from, it's just like, wow, now I got this organization, not even an organization, a support group. It's a support group where we support each other with our adversities, our day to day adversities. We talk about, strategies, how to beat these adversities. We meet people that's going through the same things that we're going through and that we can help each other get up out of it. And so I'm like, this is a beautiful thing. So I'm gonna take it a little further. When the pandemic stopped, I started hosting in-person events. Things like my pull-up that happens every fourth Saturday of the month. Every fourth Saturday, we're either pulling up on Zoom or pulling up in person. This
If
month
guys,
it's
just
in
so you guys
person.
know, I'm gonna make sure I get that link and tag it because I'm gonna be there and I want to see all my warriors supporting that pull up. So make sure you guys look for that link in this video. Okay.
Yes, so the pull up this month for February is going to be in person because we're going to definitely celebrate Black History Month and of course love and sickle cell. We will be having a love and sickle cell panel with sickle cell patients telling about their love story. We have even singles, we have our people who are married, engaged, divorced, single parents, so we want to hear from everybody in every aspect of their love journey. You know what I mean? And so from the pull up, it's like people started like taking my advice and things. So I do have a background in medical in health because I work as a CNA on my secular job. As a CNA, I'm a certified nursing assistant. I've been that since for 15 years now. I've been a certified nursing assistant. I started working in doing in-home care. Then I went on to acute care. Then I went on to specialties like working in cath labs and the surgery, the surgical rooms and stuff like bringing the blood and getting the patients ready for their procedures. And so I have a heavy background in the medical field. And so I know a lot. And so that really makes me a great advocate because I can advocate on your behalf. And so I took it a step further and I went to school and I got my associates because I wanted to be a registered nurse too. And so it took me a while. I've been in school. I started school 2009 when I graduated high school. And because I do have sickle cell and because I'm not like everybody else, I've literally had to take my time and take classes one by one. It's been so many times where I've had to drop classes. And I'm telling you, warriors, it's not about the time. Take your time, go at your own pace. You are in your race, you are your own competition. Just make sure you get to the goal. And so that's what I did. And so, not even knowing, I soon to graduated, which was in 2020, the first year I started school, I had to have my first brain surgery.
Mm.
And that was in 2010, I want to say. That was 2010. I had my first brain surgery. I wanted to go off and away for school, but my mom was just like, I don't know, Poots. Like, I don't know if we're gonna
It
be
might
able
be
to
a
do
lot.
that. Yeah, that and then I really wanted to go because I wanted to be a part of, like, the
The
fraternities and
sororities,
sororities.
the
Yeah,
college life,
I
the
wanted
trips, the
that. I
you
wanted
want
that
that
whole
lifestyle.
experience. But my mom was just like, I don't know. And she was like, let's just see how it's gonna be for you, at a community college first. And so, yeah, my first semester at a community college, I had to drop out because they were like, we got to do brain surgery.
Mm.
We got to do brain surgery now. And that took me a 2 years to heal from. And so I had to drop school. But guess what? I healed, I picked it back up. Picked it back
That's
up. Start.
2010 through 2012.
Yep, 2010. So the first semester in 2012, I finished it. And then into my third semester, I had a stroke. That stroke took me out. I literally lost my speech. I could not move my right side. I was almost defeated. I honestly could say that's one of the worst things that probably could have hit me with sickle cell disease is that stroke. Like, I was almost to my goal, to my 2-year goal with school, I was almost there to where I needed to transfer. And that stroke kind of just stopped it all. And I didn't know how I was going to get up from there. And I didn't know how long it was going to take. And I didn't know. And it had me so depressed. But I did. I came out of that. And I want to tell you, it's a little girl that helped me come out of that. She told me, well, I seen your video because I made this video with the hospital. She said, I seen your video and you said I can be whatever I wanted to be. You said I just had to take my time, and that's what I'm going to do. So why aren't you believing it? And I say,
Mm. The voice of a child can change you. They can hit you because they keep it a buck with you.
she kept it a buck with me. And she was my roommate. I was in the hospital. She was a cancer patient, a black cancer patient going through chemotherapy. She talked, she was telling me this. And I was like, wow. I
That
said,
was
just
all
for you,
God.
I'm going to do it.
That was all God. Make sure she
Yeah.
saw your video connect. That was all God. God works in mysterious ways. He put her next to you. He put you through all he put you through. She can do all that you're doing today because you're doing a lot. You're doing amazing. And to overcome all of that to now what? CNA for 15 years. You have to pull up since 2020. You've been camp director for 6 years. You're registered nurse. All of that while having a stroke. All that while having sickle cell. All of that going through surgery. And you're still going through it. That was all God.
Yeah. Yeah. That was, because it was almost like an epiphany. It was like something light clicked on in my head. And I was like, just for you, I'm going hard. I'm finna get up from here. I'm going to get better. And so after that, I did get better and I finished school. And throughout throughout the school journey, I still had to drop classes because I wasn't feeling good and I wasn't hospitalized sometimes. And I had to literally take tests from the hospital, but I did it. I persevered through it. And despite what they call us, despite what they think we are, the drug seekers or whatever, that's never been me. I've always needed help. And that's what I always would tell my healthcare professionals. Even when I went into the emergency room one time where I had a stroke in the emergency room, an ischemic stroke. It wasn't as big as the one that I had in 2012, but it was another stroke that I had. And I had the stroke sitting in an emergency room because I was put out there to wait for like 5 hours to receive help.
Okay.
And yeah.
I'm normally used to a lot of sickle cell terminologies, but I've never heard about an ischemic stroke to me. Can you just please
So
educate me and the viewers on that?
yes, so an ischemic stroke is when you lose oxygen in one place for a minute, like something cuts it off for a minute, and then it cuts, and then it starts flowing again. So maybe it cut off for maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. And you can't really see that stroke until you get a CAT scan, or you may see it in somebody's speech, or maybe it's a learning development thing that maybe it affected their brain in a different way. Do you not? It's something that you cannot see unless you go through a MRI or something that they catch it. But when I was having it, I was having a very bad headache. And I told the emergency room people, I said, "Hey, I have a history of strokes. I need to be seen. My head is feeling like it's going to explode."
And even telling them you have a history of strokes and sickle cell, which is high category, they still kept you in that waiting room for 5 hours.
For
That's
5 hours.
ridiculous. That's ridiculous. They don't even know that we could have lost someone amazing that day that had so much to offer to this world just due to their negligence. And
Yeah,
that's exactly what we have to put an end to how they view us. And stories like this is what I want them to see. I want them to know that we are not these drug seekers you think that we are. We are not these invalid people who are just sitting here begging for help, doing nothing. We are winners. We accomplish greatness. We do so much. People like you and the other stories I've posted so far, these are who we are as people every day when we're not going through our hardest situations of our life. When we're not
right.
coming into these hospitals to get care from these providers who just
We're
make us feel like we're not
persevering.
even human. We're
Yeah.
surviving. We have God with us through everything. And that's
Yes, you're
amazing.
right. And then God did this amazing thing for me in 2021. He let me have a baby. I
Hmm.
told God, I said, God, I'm okay if you don't give me kids. I got my camp kids. I'm okay. I'm okay without a baby, but God, I really want a family. And I'm okay if it's just with a man who already has kids because I love kids. And I prayed that prayer. And literally that month I was pregnant.
Got heard.
And I told God, I said, God, if you get me through this, because I'm a high risk. I have
Hmm.
had 2 brain surgeries. I'm stroke prone, you know what I mean? So a lot of people told me not to do it. Don't do it. Even my own mother, she was scared for me. She was like, "Poops, please, just get an abortion." And I was like, I can't do it. I can't because I feel like it's destined. I feel like I have to do this. I have to go through this. Like I could do this, mama. I told my mom I could do this. I said, God is gonna walk me through this. God is gonna get me through this. And it was hard too because I was doing so well. I had gained this weight and everything. Like my pregnancy was smooth, like literally, like the morning sickness and all that. My baby father had all that. Like I kid you not. He had the heartburn. He had the morning sickness.
I've heard about your porter, but he took it for you. Like, let's go. Let's go for
He
him.
took it for me. And that's what I'm saying. Like God was in this. That's what I was telling my mom. Like I could it,
Listen,
this is of God.
no matter
I
what
have to do
anyone
this.
says, we all know who has that last word. I don't care if it's a family,
Exactly.
a friend, a doctor. If God hasn't given you that verdict, it doesn't matter. You can do anything through
Exactly.
God.
Exactly. And so when I was 6 months, I caught COVID. COVID was still strong. It was still going around. I had never caught COVID. Mind you, I'm working in hospitals and everything on the front line as a nurse assistant, working. Never caught it. I took my maternity leave and everything. I stayed away from people, but I caught COVID when I was pregnant. And then my pregnancy went downhill. I had to have, for some odd reason, my port gave out. I had to have 3 surgeries before I even gave birth. I had to be put under anesthesia, had to get the PIC line put in my arm because I didn't have a port anymore. Um, it just was a lot. And then, even then, so when my baby was premature, oh God, you couldn't tell though, but my baby was premature. He came. He was so precious. He was small. Like I said, I went through a lot of surgeries. I went through 3 surgeries before having him. When I had him right there, like at the I was 6 months and maybe 2 weeks, and I had my baby. And after me having that baby, a C-section, I had to be rushed back in to the emergency room because I was eternally bleeding in the inside. They had to go back in, burn something or snip something, tighten something else up. I don't know, but they did, and that was another surgery, my fourth surgery, well, fifth surgery, including the baby. Um, I come out of the surgery. My baby, they're telling me like it's gonna be 3 months before he can go home. He's in the NICU. No, no, no. That baby pulled his G tube out and he started eating regular and he came home with me. But before I came home, they had to open my C-section wound back up. And I went home with an open C-section wound so it can heal from the inside out. So I had a real complicated labor.
Mm.
I got a real complicated child too. No, he's not special needs or anything. It's just that he's smart out of this world.
He
Like,
sounded determined. You said he took it out. He started eating. He's like, "Nah, my mama's strong. I'm strong. We gonna keep it going."
we're gonna keep it literally. I kid you not, because when he first came out, I wasn't able to see him. I had to be in an ICU for literally 3 days. So mind you, I gave birth to a baby that I wasn't even able to hold or anything because I had to be in this ICU because I was internally bleeding. And yeah, and I kept waking up. They literally had to handcuff me to the bed because I kept waking up. And I was like, I know I had a baby. Where's my baby at? Like I was tripping out. Where's my baby? So then when I finally did get to hold my baby was, first of all, he came out, he had to be on the ventilator. So when I finally got to hold him, that first day, he came off that ventilator. That second day, he came, well, the moment I was able to put him against my skin, he came out of all of that. He came out of the oxygen, everything, the G tube, that, the feeding tube, everything. And they were still trying to tell me that, he was only 3 pounds. Well, no, he was 2 pounds when he was born. He gained
Mm.
3 pounds. But like they were telling me that I couldn't take him home because he was too premature. And so I was praying and crying, and I'm like, I gotta take him home. Like, there's no way I can go home without my baby. Like, I can't do it. And then the next morning I got up and the lady said, well, you know what? Your baby is being real complicated. He keeps pulling out these G tubes. If he drink enough, he can go on home with you. If he passes car seat test and he's drinking enough, he can go home. They let me take my baby home at 4 pounds, and we made it. And we made it through. And I just was like, God, this was a blessing. This was a blessing. My baby is a blessing. Like, even now, like, he listen, just last night he said to me, he said, Mama, give me a kiss. I gave him a kiss. He said, do your heart feel better? He said, is your heart happy? I said, yeah, my heart is happy. Is your heart happy? But he just says things like that to me. Like, it's crazy though.
I
And
wonder
I'm
who he
just
gets
so
that from. Sounds like a
appreciative.
motivational speaker. Sounds like a future leader. I wonder who he gets that from.
Right.
Let me do a quick shout out real quick. We're at halfway mark through right now, and this has been a fantastic episode so far, and I can't wait to get to the next part of it. We're gonna take a quick moment to shout out a couple brands. I want you guys to make sure you guys please go donate blood. It is so important that we donate blood and save some lives. One individual who donates blood can save three different lives. They're going to collect your platelets, your blood, and your plasma. Go donate blood. You can use our link at Love and Fashion at www.nybc.org/LF. Utilizing our link, you can pick a location, pick a time, and pick a date that's convenient to you to go and donate blood at your own convenience. So you don't have to wait for an event, any special occasion. Just go on your own accord and save three lives today. Be a hero. Many warriors utilize blood, but not just for warriors. There's people with cancer. There's people who have issues with birth. There are people who are in car accidents. People who are victims of gun violence. There's so many things that you can do just by donating blood. So go be a hero today. Save a life by donating blood. Also, check out Hospital Hostage Hotline. You can also call them at 888-219-3637. If you're a patient with any background and you're in the hospital and you need help, contact them. They are patient advocates and they'll help you navigate the medical care system. If you're not being treated fairly, if these doctors are not doing what they're supposed to do, contact them. The owner, Laura Bartlett, and her team are there to support people who need help in the hospital. Not only that, they have created a form called the Caregiver Consent Form. This is a form that you can take with you into the hospital and you serve it to these doctors. And you let them know that this is the medication that you use, this is your information, this is what you do not use. And now they're being held accountable for their actions. So if they don't follow your patient plan after I put a notice, you can hold them accountable and sue them. So that I've heard a lot of stories about doctors who used to act really funny. Once they've been served, they start acting correctly. So check out Hospital Hostage Hotline. And please help Love and Fashion continue what we're doing, organizing these events, these shows, these ways of connecting with other patients, from doing the Voices of Sickle Cell to our networking event. These cells ain't loyal. So being able to visit patients in the hospital and taking them food and visiting them when they're in these hospitals by themselves. All of this is funded through your donations. You can go visit us at loveandfashionapparel.com. You can purchase hats. Welcome back to the second portion of this episode. And if you guys already seen the first part, you know this young lady's been doing so much and she's accomplished so much through so much adversity. And yeah, I just want to say I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of, like, this is definitely gonna be one of my favorite episodes to hear all that you've been through and all that you're accomplishing. It's a fantastic thing. But I also want to talk to you about hospitals, about being a sickle cell patient and being a sickle cell warrior and also working in the medical field. You have the different insight of being able to see it from both sides. As a sickle cell warrior first, what is it like? What are some of the complications you have seen and heard about with individuals who have had to go into hospital, and some of the things you've heard about, maybe experienced yourself?
I've experienced it all. I feel like I've experienced discrimination, racism. I've experienced long waits in the waiting room, waiting to be seen for something serious. Like I said, I had a stroke in the emergency room, literally waiting to be seen. Just recently, I had an incident where I was literally removed and thrown to the ground, port snatched out by a security guard,
What
and
do you mean, like
literally
really thrown to the ground, literally? Oh my goodness.
literally, I'm saying I was grieving my one of my best friends. I just lost my best friends last year. And I was grieving her and writing a poem for her obituary, and I kind of was crying, and maybe I was loud, but who cares if I was loud, because I'm in my room with my door closed in the privacy of my hospital room. So, anyway, the nurse said she felt she didn't feel safe. She let security guards come in my room and they literally started grabbing on me. And so I started getting defensive, like, don't touch me. Don't, like, I'm not the one or the two. Like, I'm just supposed to, I'm able to keep it together now. But when you start touching on me, it gets a little different. And so I'm asking the nurse and stuff, like, how come, what is going on? Like, why are you guys allowing this to happen? Like, what's really up? They think that I'm upset and crying and frustrated over some pain medication. This
What?
is not about any pain
But
medication.
but
I
even
am
if you
literally
were, that
going
still
through
doesn't justify
grieving.
their actions.
That still doesn't justify their actions. Even if I was upset over pain medication, this is not the protocol you take. You come in as a nurse, you ask me, are you okay? I just had no understanding. So I just was like, you know what? I fear for my life at this point. I'm going home. So I started packing up my things and I said, I'm going to go home, maybe even to another hospital, cuz I'm right now, this right here, this not cool. As I got in the elevator and walked out, I was slammed to my face. They slammed me on my face, flipped me over, and removed my port and pushed me into the ambulance and tried to 5150 me at John Muir Concord, California.
Wait, what's the 5150 people like me who don't know?
5150 means like I'm crazy. I'm out of my mind. She's losing it. Like, get her to the hospital. She's
I don't
crazy.
think
She's
they have the
suicidal. She's
authorization
gonna
to
harm
diagnose you with
somebody.
something like that.
Right. So then when I got to the other hospital in that ambulance, they had a psychiatrist come and evaluate me. And then the psychiatrist was like, "This- there's nothing wrong with her. She's not crazy. What's going on?" And so, in the process of all of this, because this just happened last year, literally, and I've literally contacted so many lawyers, and they've all told me like, you have a case, but it's not gonna, you're not gonna get much of compensation as it would take for us to go ahead and file the case, like, to get a doctor to get on the stands and say if those were the right protocols, or like that, like that's gonna take more than what you probably be compensated, and so we're not willing to take your case. And so, I've been thinking about how could I, what should I do, like, and then it's emotional trauma behind that, like I can't focus on that too much, because it really brings me down. It really puts me in a mind frame of murder. I want them to hurt. You know, I should have, reported them to JCO by now, but like I said, I have literally a lot of trauma behind that incident. And
I mean, I've heard some heinous incidents, but I don't think I've heard one to that magnitude. Even me myself, I've had I can't, I am so upset. Oh my goodness, I'm so upset. I lost my phone recently, and I had taken a picture of the nurse's badge, and I had her name, and I cannot remember her name, and I believe it was New York Presbyterian in Manhattan, where the nurse had the audacity to say that your labs say that your fetal hemoglobin is over a 9. There's no way that you can be sick. She called the police on me and escorted me out the hospital in a wheelchair, where I had to go to another hospital, where I stayed there for another week and almost a half, but I was still in so much pain. That's the worst I've had. But hearing you say they slammed you to your face, slammed you down, took out your port, transported you to another medical facility where they misdiagnosed you. And one of the biggest problems that I cannot seem to fathom, and this what annoys me so much, that so many people have contacted lawyers and they all gave us the same bull answer, that it'll cost too much money, we can't do nothing for you. And we just gotta sit there and take this. And they don't give us any kind of benefit of anything behind nothing that we say to even go forward with these cases. And part of that problem is with vaso-occlusive damage, with ischemic damage, and they have stuff like the CICP and the VICP, where these people have immunity and they're protected through their negligence, and no one is holding them accountable. And I'm telling you right now, because I'm gonna have you do something. I'm gonna have you do what you just did again, because I want to bring attention to this. We are going to be using this platform to bring attention to every hospital, every school, every job, every location that violates any of our individuals. And I would like for all of the warriors seeing this to please tag them below, bring attention. I want them to lose funding. I want them to lose patience. I want the people in the government to see them, because they have a responsibility. Once people in the government see any negligence that happened, they have a responsibility to act. That's actually Title 42 U.S. Code 1986. A lot of people don't know I study law. That's what I've been doing for the past 5 years. Because when couldn't find a lawyer to fight for us, I said I'm going to fight for us. So I continually study. I'm about to
man,
sign up to go to school to study law, because no one's representing us. So please, shout out that hospital that did that to you. If you remember any of the doctors and nurses, say their names. And I want everyone to tag them when you see this video, because that hospital is an atrocity. They're horrible
not
and they need
only
to be taken
that,
down.
they had the audacity to get a restraining order against me. And let me let you know this. I worked for that hospital for 5 years.
You worked for the same hospital?
I worked for that hospital. I worked for that hospital, and it was almost like, why would, that's why it's a lot of emotion, a lot of trauma behind it, because it's almost like,
These are your colleagues. These are your peers. They work with you.
no, did not necessarily I guess that nurse was new. She didn't know, she was a new nurse. And actually, it was a nurse that was literally coming on the shift, never even met me, never even came in a room to say, hey, what's wrong? Why are you crying? Why are you, kind of screaming, crying? Like, what you going through? You assumed that I was upset over pain medication, and literally said you feared for your life, had the security guards come in my room, assault me. And so when I packed my things to leave, they went ahead and removed my port. That is something only a registered nurse can do. And not only that, you have to heparinize a port before you can even take it out, or it'll clot and you can die. And
And
it's just like,
lawyers still won't fight for that with all of that.
they were like, you definitely have a lawsuit against the security company. And let me tell you what John Muir, this hospital, did. They fired that security company that same month. fired that security company and trained and literally trained their new security company how not to touch the patients.
I wish you could. It's only a year ago. If you can subpoena or do a FOIA request to get that footage from that hospital to
That's what
show
I'm
their
saying.
negligence and get it. So I want to talk to you after this because there's some stuff we're going to start putting. I don't know everything. I've been studying quite a bit, but you need to start a court case, get a subpoena, do a FOIA request to get the videos to have that evidence, and then sue the heck out of the security company and the hospital. If the security company is negligent, they were at that time acting as an agent of the hospital. As an agent of the hospital, if the security company is negligent, so is the hospital. And off that alone, you have a case. And I will do whatever possible to help you because that is heinous right there. I cannot believe they did that to you. I'm sorry they did that to you. Like,
And not to mention when they took me to court for the
wait, they
with
took
the
you to court?
they took me to court. They literally got a restraining order on me. And there's like, oh yeah, she beat up these people. Do you know I am literally 5 foot and not even 99 pounds, soaking wet?
Good. Listen,
I'm very itty bitty.
I would have been like, yes, I beat them up, but why did I have to beat them up? I had to defend myself from your staff being negligent. So it's not about did you beat them up, whether you beat them up or not. They perpetuated a situation that they weren't supposed to do, and you have all right to defend yourself.
Right.
And they
And
are
so,
just them
so
saying that you beat them up is them acknowledging that that incident happened. So they can't even deny the incident happened. They already put on the record what led up to that incident. That's when they. If did you have a lawyer at the time?
no.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk after this for real. We have some stuff to talk about, but that's
Yeah. But
ridiculous.
no, to continue on with your question though, like working as a healthcare professional, yes, I have seen how people can abuse the system. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you cannot treat everybody that way. You have to treat them like it's real. You can't say that they're lying. Pain is a symptom that people cannot see. So you cannot tell me just because my blood work is whatever it is, I'm not in pain. One of the main sources of sickle cell pain sometimes is stress.
Mm-hmm.
Your blood levels could be A100. Your hemoglobin could be high. Your hematocrit could be right on point. Everything could be great. Your oxygen levels could be doing good. But if you're stressed out, if you are stressed out and you're going through things and you're depressed, that will send you straight into a crisis. You can ask any doctor.
You know who some of our biggest stresses are? The doctors, the nurses.
Exactly.
When we have to go through and dealing with them, I feel like patients sometimes don't want to go there because they know their stress is going to be exacerbated, and then they end up staying at home and going through making the situation worse. Because then they're going
Yeah.
to start getting vaso-occlusive damage, ischemic damage, because they need to be treated right away. But because they're trying to avoid the stress and the negativity from the hospital, patients don't even want to go to the hospital more. Like a lot of patients with sickle cell are starting to lose faith in the medical system at this point.
It- Definitely. And so I working on it, not from the patient side, but literally on the work side of it. I've literally had to advocate for not only sickle cell patients, but other patients that's in pain. But I'm just gonna speak to the sickle cell patient aspect of it. Like I have to tell nurses, like, do you know that we literally wait maybe a week before we even come in here, before we could come in here and say that we're in pain. We wait at home for weeks trying to doctor ourselves before we have to come to this place.
Like me right now, avoid like everyone's been telling me to go back to the hospital. I've been home for almost 2 weeks now. My legs are in pain right now talking to you, but it's okay. We deal
But
with
I
it.
gotta I gotta keep pushing. I
Yeah.
understand. I listen. I let me tell you, I just got out of the hospital too. I just got out of the hospital last week, actually. I got out on Monday. Last Monday. I had to be there for 2 weeks and 2 weeks and a half. I was almost there for 3 months and they were telling me like, I finally got my apheresis because I'm blood transfused every 3 weeks and I get an apheresis. And so I finally got my apheresis, but they wanted to wing me off the medicine. And I said, I can't do that because I have a kid at home. I can wean off at home. And so, they were like, "You really need to wing off in a hospital because you've been on pain meds literally every hour. Like we've been giving you stuff every hour through the IV. So you really need to wing off." And I was like, "Yo, I gotta wing off at home because I can't do this because I have a baby at home. I have a kid I have to take care of. And so, like you, I've been trying to push through it, just keep going. And, I had to go back last Wednesday. I did go back for 24 hours. I was in the emergency room where they just gave me fluid and a little bit more pain meds. And I've been literally like winging myself off Dilaudid slowly, slowly, um, just winging myself off. But not everybody can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody's strong enough to be able to taper themselves off of the pain medicine. Are you going cold turkey or are you like winging too?
Truthfully, I've always been a cold turkey. When I leave the hospital, I
Ooh,
just
you
stop.
crazy.
Honestly, I I'm a bit different.
Yeah.
I treat my pain by treating the blood. Because I know the blood can't stay still. I know I have to move the blood. So honestly, I start working out. While my legs are in pain right now, I do a lot of squats because I want to get the
You
blood
sound like
circulating.
my
I
girl
drink
Misa.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
sound
If
like
I'm interviewing her next, I drink a lot of water. I make it really hot, and I exercise and to get the blood flow. Because I look at it from where the problem stems from, and if it's the blood is stuck in one place, we need to open up our veins, get hot. We need to lubricate it, drink water. We need to get it to flow, exercise, and honestly do that. Even though I have sickle cell SS, I'm not on any daily medication. I've only ever had 2 blood transfusion. I don't go through
Ooh,
most of the things that a lot of patients tell me they go through, but my diet is also very different. I don't eat dairy. I don't drink soda. I make my own juice at home. I cook my own food at home. I don't buy candy. I don't do all the
I
junk
don't
food
eat
and stuff.
candy either.
I'm a very healthy
I was
individual.
vegan for 2 years.
Yeah.
I took a journey, and I'm the same way. I'm not a herbalist, but I do herbal medicine. Like I
Hmm.
do ginkgo biloba. I do liquid chlorophyll. I do mess with the sea moss. I'm actually this is my new endeavor that I'm endeavoring on for myself because I just feel like I gotta do it, and I feel like I'm about to make my own pain medicine, and I got this herbal remedies books, and it was pretty expensive too, and it's got me. It tells me like what herb does certain things, and it has recipes for for remedies, and they have a really potent pain medicine remedy in there, and it's going to take about 4 to 6 months to actually come out with a product that I can actually try. But yeah, I am about to mix up some potions, and
I think
I'm heavy on my herbs. I'm the same way like you. I don't drink soda and stuff. I drink only water, and most of the time alkaline water. I eat a lot of fruit. I work out. I don't eat red meat. I don't eat pork.
no pork over here.
I try, and actually when I'm in crisis, I don't eat any meat.
Okay.
Meat like meat is hard for your body to process. I learned that taking nutrition. It's hard for your body to process. So when you stop eating the meat, your body it helps it kind of soothes your body, and it helps it heal a little bit. You eat salads and stuff, and you just none of the meat, and then you do food that's heavy, that's for the blood, like beets. I do smoothies. I do protein smoothies.
Hmm.
I do a lot of herbs. Like I do a lot of vitamins. That's how I say I literally have about honestly 2 hospital admissions a year,
Wow.
and I have SS too. So I have been through a lot, but I have SS. I do get blood transfusions. That's my health maintenance. But as far as being hospitalized, maybe twice a month, a year, twice
And
a year.
it's crazy because a lot of patients that have sickle cell, when I engage with them, and I always find out that the people who eat healthier have the less hospitalizations. The people who eat the worst have the most. And no matter how much I tell this to them, they choose not to listen because their excuses is, I should be able to enjoy my life. I want to be able to do what I want to. And yes, you should be able to. But let's be real.
Right.
You weren't dealt the same hand everyone was dealt. You were dealt a different hand. And if you cannot adapt in life, then you're choosing what you're going through. And a lot of patients get mad when I say this, but if you choose to consume all the stuff that's not good for your body, then you're choosing to be in extra crisis. And honestly, I'm not sorry for you because you're making a living choice to put yourself what you're putting yourself through. People who understand, and it's not just sickle cell, any disparity you can think about, lupus, cancer, herpes, whatever you can think about, changing your diet is one of the best things to do to fix yourself. Nick
I
Cuban
promise
just did an
you.
interview. I forgot with which who he was speaking with. And one thing we have to learn are colors. I don't know all the colors yet, but like red fruits and stuff like that is vitality. Blues and purple is like antioxidants, and they're good for like
Oh
recovery.
yeah.
So we have to start
Berries.
learning how to use our first original kitchen, our first original medicine cabinet
God's
with these
cabinet,
fruits and
God's
vegetables.
medicine cabinet. That's
Exactly.
what I call it. The herbs from the ground that grow, the stuff that God provided us with. That's the
Exactly.
stuff you need to be putting in your body.
Yes.
You know, I'm not. I eat meat now. I eat a little bit of chicken and fish now. Ever since my ever since I had my son and I had that open C-section wound, that wouldn't close up for 2 months because I wasn't eating meat and I needed some animal protein. And so in order for my wound to close, I had to start eating a little bit of meat. And literally, I ate some chicken and it closed up in 2 weeks
Mm. You got
versus
to
two
get you with some
months.
sea moss and some sour sop and some stuff like that. Just some because those
Yep,
are high in
sour
protein
sop,
too.
sea moss. I do ginkgo biloba for my brain issues. I have a cerebral vascular disease because that's why I've had the two brain surgeries. But just to keep it open, like to make it a natural blood thinner, is
Hmm.
like something like ginkgo. Ginkgo helps with memory. It helps with thinning the blood a little bit. It helps it helps with a lot of stuff, and it regulates your blood, everything. And it also can work as a diet supplement. Um, I also do liquid chlorophyll, like you said. I don't do a lot of sea moss because it has a lot of iron in it, and I'm working on my iron levels. It's a little too high right now. I'm a different type of anemic. I have too much iron versus
A little
less
bit.
iron. Just because of the blood transfusions, though, because
You get the
with
iron
every
overload
blood
from the blood
transfusion, yeah,
transfusion.
I've been getting blood transfusions since I was 5 years old.
So has your blood type ever changed? A lot of people don't know if you get a lot of blood transfusion, your blood type can actually change. So has your blood type
No,
changed at
it
all?
has never changed, but I did develop antibodies.
Okay.
Yeah. So blood transfusions, donating blood, that's one of my biggest things. I'd be like, yo, donate some blood. I need y'all to come over here and donate blood because I am one of those people that benefits from the blood. I get blood transfusions. And that's how I stay.
So yeah, I heard y'all guys can save for lives. Go donate blood. Use our link www.nybc.org/LF. The letter L, F for love and fashion. LF. Go and you can select your date, time, and location and go donate blood. And you might save her life one day. You guys can make such a big difference by saving someone's lives for real.
No,
Now,
seriously.
with everything you've already accomplished, from being a CAN counselor, a director, a CNA, you have to pull up to all that you go through with the hospital. What's next for you? What's the next part of your journey?
Oh, that's the same question I asked myself. So I want to be a nonprofit. My thing now is turning the pull up into a nonprofit because I have a few great ideas that I just want to put out there. I want to start a mentoring project. Basically just showing people how to live and balance a disease. Like I said, there's some ups and there's some downs, but there's a way to balance it all. You're gonna be sick someday. You're gonna be sick. No matter how healthy you eat, no matter what you do, you're gonna get sick. You got sickle cell. You're not like everybody else. And I had to
They
learn
not
that
like
the
us.
hard way.
They not like us. Let me stop.
Yes, they're not like us. And so I've already kind of helped out with a transition program. Start like literally help them build a transition program. So I want to just have a mentor program to accompany that transition program. But I want to do all of this under my own umbrella, starting my own nonprofit, becoming my own 501(c)(3). And I see myself doing that this year or sometime in the beginning of next year. It's
Yeah.
going to happen for me. I also want to start a medication program called the Latrice Atkinson after my best friend. I feel like she passed because of negligence, not taking her medication. She used to receive a lot of transfusions like I did. We went through a lot of the same stuff. But because I take my iron overload medication, I'm able to get my iron down. She was not taking her medication all the time. I actually have a few warriors I was really close with that has passed from iron overload. And so I want to come out with this medication reminder program where we send warriors texts like, hey, did you take your medicine today? Oh, if you didn't, you should take it like in the morning, at night, like just checking in with somebody. So I want the Latrice Atkinson program to get off the ground. I want to start my own mentoring project. Um, And yeah, I have a lot of ventures that I want to do for the community. And then for my own self, my educational goals, I'm thinking about going into social work. But I hear God
I
telling me
think you'd
not
be
yet.
great at that, though. I feel like you're already doing that now, and you'd be so fantastic at that.
Yeah, yeah. That's what a lot of people tell me. Even my doctors, and so they like, you should be a social worker, not a nurse, a social worker. And I'm like, yeah, because you
But
know what?
I
I'm
think the
kind of
biggest
tired
part
of
of
nursing.
you proud of it. I think the biggest part about social work, especially from the ones who I know, isn't the education. It's
It's the
about the
paperwork.
empathy. It's the
Oh
caring.
yeah.
It's about being there for each other. Social workers have to
Hmm.
be able to talk to people with so many different backgrounds, comprehend what they're going through, and then help them get so many things done. The best social workers that I know, they are just the most caring individuals I've ever met. They really care about the ones who we deal with. So and you definitely have a heart for that, giving back and just caring, especially for the children. You have a heart for that. I see it in you.
Yeah. Yeah. I do. Everybody says that. Everybody says that. Even my family. Like, I have a huge family. My mom's side and my dad's side is very big. Very big. They're very supportive. I have a supportive family. Like I said, I didn't really have my dad around when I was younger, but his side of the family definitely stepped up. You know what I mean? My dad's in the picture now, but not when I was growing up. And so my grandmother, she's my biggest supporter. Like, she literally comes with me to every conference, to everything. Like, she supports me. She pushes me. Like, she is the reason why I've never given up.
Mm.
And so my mother, she's a war talking about warrior. My mother's the warrior.
Super War right there. And I saw another one, Tina Bonbon. Reading the post, she said she would clean up behind you, she would massage your feet, massage your back. She was always there for you. And I did it hear from you said she passed away around 2 years ago. So RIP to her. But you
Right.
sound like you have a great support system. And I think more warriors need to have support systems like that, need to have good social workers, need to communicate with their friends and family because having a support system, it's one of the things that kept me going for such a long time, because there were many times I wanted to give up. There were times
Right.
where I actually took measures that I should not be here today, but I'm here today. And I thank
Right.
God that the measures I took didn't work. And having support systems helped me get through some of those dark moments in my life.
And that's what the pull up is for. We literally support you. My friends in the pull up are amazing. Noah, Acacia, my girl Janelle, like, we really hold each other accountable. We hold each other up. When I was just in the hospital this recent time, my friend Janelle came. She bought me a pack of pajamas. She bought me a little face mask. She rubbed my feet, put oil on my feet. Like, she just made me feel so much better about myself, because I had kind of felt like I hit rock. Like, it's like every time I get in, even though it's only two a year, when I went into the hospital, it was like, it did something to me. It kind of lowered my confidence, because I was going so hard and I was in the gym and I was getting buff, and then the second you go into the hospital, like, you literally start
Lose
losing muscle mass.
everything.
Like, yes, and it's like I just felt so down and out. And she came and they all came. They came and they supported me and they pushed me and they said, it's okay. I had started school again this semester. I had to drop my classes because literally I was in a hospital for 2.5 weeks. And another week, this is the second week I've been out, like, starting to, this week. And I'm getting back, slowly getting back, but I'm not well enough to be outside and going to school right now. Like, you know what I mean? So I had to drop that class and I kind of felt bad about it. But like you said, my friend circle, my pull up, oh my God, like, that's my people. Even when I feel like I've done burnt out my family, my original support system, I can go to them and I can talk to them and they can relate to me. And we can come up with strategies to help each other feel good, to hold each other accountable to our goals. Like, that's
That's a
what the
second
pull up is
family.
all about. Yeah, that's what the pull up is about. We are literally, we foster a space for support. We're here for you. We want to hear, like, what's your goals, what's your dreams, like, We're not pushing you. We're gonna help you get to that. Like, not only that, you can come here, we can cry together, we can laugh together, we can talk about our issues together. Like, we are family, we are one. Like, because that's what I felt alone, literally in the pandemic. And that's exactly what I was aiming for. And that's exactly what it's becoming. It's a huge family. Like, we have our work hours where you can tap in on Google, not Google, but Zoom, where if you got a lot of work you need to get done, everybody just sitting on there. We probably all quiet, but we all getting stuff done. Hey, did you finish your homework? Oh, hey, did you fill out the application you were supposed to fill out?
I like that. Hold on, wait.
You know what I mean?
I know you guys are in the Bay Area, and you guys have a hybrid in person or online, but is it open to everybody? And if so, if it is open, how can we get
It's
in
open to
contact?
everybody.
How can we get in contact? I haven't done
Everybody.
this before. So I want to do this now for the first time, do a business shout out because I love entrepreneurialism. I love it so much. And what you're doing for the community is fantastic. Though, how can they contact you to be a part of the pull up?
Okay. Come pull up, tap in and pull up. Hit us on Instagram. We also have a website page. Get on Instagram. Get in. It's our Instagram is at the pull up.
You
Hit
guys
us
already
on
know. It's going to be
Instagram.
down here somewhere. You guys already know.
Yes. Hit us on Instagram. Tap into our bio. Hit us on our website. Just put in your information and we'll be contacting you and sending you our videos. Like, we do a workout with Misa Masters. Y'all be hearing from her soon too. We do a workout with Misa Masters where we work out and we do like mobility workout. Not too much though, So everybody is welcome to come. It's not like
It's not high intensity. It's
expertise.
what people
It's
can do,
not
what they
high
can do.
intensity. Exactly. We also meditate. We take 10 minutes to meditate and then we reflect on the things. So yeah, and that's just a little teaser. We're probably gonna get more into it in the summer. Probably do some walking around a lake, Lake Merritt. You never know. But we're big on that. And then every fourth Saturday there is a pull-up happening either on Zoom or in person. Sometimes we even do both in person and on Zoom. So make sure you pull up and tap in.
Love that. Love that. And
And
now,
anybody can come and tap in. Anybody
worldwide,
around the
there we go.
world.
Worldwide connection. Look, we're the largest population, so I want to see her group blow up. I've heard about a lot of different community board organizations, support groups, but I love what you guys are doing. So I want her group to blow up. So make sure you guys tap in with her. So now, I want you to leave a message. I want you to leave a message, okay? From a patient side, from what you know on the medical side, I want you to talk to these doctors and nurses and tell them as a warrior we are better than what they think we are and what we expect of them and hold them accountable. Give them some words.
These are my words. For one thing, I want to say we are more than our illness. And I give this disclaimer all the time when I go into emergency rooms. I am a human being. I am a mother. I have a job. I literally go to school. I come to the hospital to get your help. I'm not drug seeking. I just want help. I know you've been in medical school, you have you're a doctor. So you should understand pain tolerance. If you've been living with a disease your whole life, you're always going to need a little bit more. So we've been living with something our whole life. We've been in pain our whole life. So we require a little bit more pain medicine than other people. Does not make us drug seekers. Just because we know ourselves does not make us drug seekers. We are regular human beings of the society and we need your help. And we partner with you guys because that's what you guys say you partnering with, right? Healthcare professionals, you're our partners. You know what I mean? Be our partners. Advocate for us. Support us. Believe in us. And that's all that we ask.
All right. You guys heard it today. This is Voices of Sickle Cell. My name is Trey Lever. I'm the host. This is from Love and Fashion and GL Council. Make sure you guys tune in each and every week. We're dropping a new episode where we're highlighting the accomplishments. We are showcasing what these beautiful individuals, like all of us, are going, like who we are. Make sure you guys tune into every episode and learn about us because we are not just, as a statement, one of portrays as drug seekers. We are counselors. We are mentors. We are professionals. We are human beings and we just want to be treated fairly. Check you guys out next time.
Ever since I've been with love and fashion, I've been in love with fashion. Baby, I know you